Next video in the series is going to be about the golf course, Boulder Creek Golf Course. We're hearing a lot of information being thrown around about Boulder Creek Golf Course and how we should be putting it into different funds and, doing all these different things with it and trying to bring up any information that they can to make it, in a bad light. But they're just grasping at straws. They're just throwing out numbers that have been debunked multiple times over. A little bit of history on the Boulder Creek Golf Course. When this was first introduced back in the early 2000s as a project that will bring us an amazing golf course, and then that will increase the value of the land around the golf course, which then can be sold at this elevated price to pay for the golf course. So we end up with a city-owned golf course basically for free because we've increased the value of the land around the golf course to pay for it. It was not a bad idea. The opposition party at the time, we used to call them cave people, got a couple of people involved with it and said, you can't have all of that together in one question for the ballot. It needed to be separated. And I believe it went all the way to the state. The state separated it into two questions. The two questions were build the golf course, question number one, yes or no. And then question number two was sell the lots as a premium around the golf course to pay for the golf course, to retire that debt from the golf course. Well, as you can see, when it went to a vote, the citizens of the Boulder City saw the value in the golf course and increasing the land, the price of the land around it, but not enough people could see the importance of doing those projects together. So the growth scared a lot of people away from selling the lots around it to pay for the land. So that part never went through. The golf course was okayed. They took out the debt and built the golf course. I believe they borrowed almost all of it from the utility fund, maybe somewhere else. But since then, that debt has been repaid. The golf course has been around for 20 plus years. I think it was a lack of information they got out at the time that people thought that, well, if we're proposing to build this golf course, that we must just have the money for this golf course. And I don't know how many people understood that there was debt and it needed to be paid for. But basically that party that pushed that in the beginning has always held that up as a failure in this city. The golf course is a failure. The golf course is horrible because it took on debt. It was a burden to the city for the first few years. But now we're seeing the fruits of what those council members at the time pushed forward, which is the value of the land around the golf course, paying for the golf course. This last sale of land was 3 to 4 times what the price of the golf course was. And that was just for a portion of the land around the golf course. We haven't even sold half the land, around the golf course to what it could have been, to the value that we could have recovered from it. So, yeah, there's, they, in a sense, you can say that opposition party that didn't want to see that go through as a project. They said, we broke it into 2 pieces and you guys went ahead with the golf course anyway. So forever in their mind, it's been this big boon on the city and, we'll never overcome it and we need to just get rid of it. And they're always going to bring it up. It's always going to be at the top of their list of things to target. They've even gone after the Muni golf course and the problems that it has. And, there's so many people that benefit from the Muni golf course and love to go over there and play. And it's just another asset of the city. And not to mention it, the people who own those houses around the golf course love it. That's why they're there. They pay a premium for those houses around the golf course. There's not very many people that would say that they would rather live, that they would sell their home on the golf course and go somewhere else. They're there because they chose it. That's what they wanted. That's the premium. They're paying extra for it. That's all part of that plan. That I'm going to keep this short. If you guys want to talk about it more, we'll talk about it more. The more comments that this video gets, the more we'll address it.